All right, guys, and welcome back. It's time for our final match of the day, and it's a good one here at the IEM Oakland B stream as we start off the groups and finish off the day with a very roaring match between...
Come on, pep up, man. Let's go. Let's
What?
get them all excited.
We're
Big
excited.
match right here.
Yeah.
Woo!
G2 going up against Gambit.
Yeah.
Should be a nice one.
How did Gambit finish at the major?
Number one.
Yeah.
I
We get to watch the major
I thought that was a trick
champion.
question for a second. You threw me off
Yeah,
there.
it's like, ooh, Gambit. Can't be. But it is.
Yeah.
They're a sick team. They're 1-1, right? Actually, no, they're 0-2.
They're both 0-2, actually.
So they lost to Optic on Train. They got smashed. It was like 16-7, 16-8, something really like that. And then they just lost to Liquid in overtime on Mirage. Believe it or not, Liquid won an overtime match on Mirage. So we can dispel that myth about Liquid and Mirage. Anyway, we're going to be moving into Overpass, right?
Correct. I believe we are. That's going to be the map that we'll play on here for our final match. And we should be getting started in just a second. I think we're just waiting for G2 to unpause the game as it's already live in the pistol. So as soon as they unpause that, we are going to be good to start off this final map. And this is rounding up the day. Like I said before, guys, I believe the mainstream is also having their last match going right around now. So we should both be concluding right around the same time. But this is important for both teams. An 0-3 record. I'm not sure exactly if 0-3 in this format means direct elimination or not.
Yeah, probably not a good thing.
No, I mean, regardless, it's not a good thing. But
Pretty,
I don't want to say they get eliminated because I don't want to be wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that it's these two teams that are like first on the chopping block if you think about it.
Right, because you think these are like the powerhouse teams out of this group coming over from Europe and everything like that. You expect them to come out on top when it's not. It's been like Renegades and Liquid beating them, and and obviously FaZe beating them in most circumstances here. So it's been a really weird group so far throughout its course of play. And of course, we are going to be figuring out now which of these two teams will at least get to have one win on their record to round out the day, and which team will go 0-3. Which is certainly not good, to say the least.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I wonder how many more tournaments we're going to say this groups didn't really go as expected type of message, you know? Like how many more tournaments in a row are we going to say that? Anyway, we're going to go right into the pistol round here. Looks like a heavy stack towards BTCs, which is kind of standard. Getting that sandbag boost, 2 facing towards enemy. Flashes over, 4 tickets fast. Are there any scopes on site? Is there anything heaven? Anyway, it's going to be even trades 3v3 in the site. The T's seem somewhat corralled. The Apex is creep up. Getting none seems a little bit diverted in attention. Switching between 2 guys in a trend. I think he feels one towards down. I'm not sure if he heard him.
Fitch with another nice pickup there, too. He's going to be able to take down Body, leaving only Shocks in this fight. And he's been flanked out at Monster. And in a second, he's going to realize he's been completely surrounded, too. There's also another guy at Construction. Just no open options really for Shocks to work off of here, and he still really will have to move in and hunt down all 3 of these kills unless he somehow sneaks in the full 5-second defuse. Highly doubt that's going to happen, and now it's 6 HP. It's only a matter of time before we see him get eliminated. He tries to sneak out of the site, but not going to happen. Doja takes him down, and it's Gambit to start off 1-0 here. The pistol victory going in their favor.
I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of looking up Gambit's Overpass results right now on my phone because I've never seen them play Overpass, and I kind of want to get an idea of how strong they are. It seems like they'd be the type of team that'd be good at it because they're really good at just a teamwork-based approach. I know that's kind of a cop-out in how general it is, but I feel like just their style lends to it.
Well, we'll see if that carries through throughout the course of this match. So right now, Gambit are going to be continuing forward, ready find some impact against these G2 Force buys. Not even really Force buys, just pistol buys for most players. The Apex and Body fully commit to the Force. Hobbit will be forcing Shocks out of position, but it's Apex that gets the kill and more importantly trades out Hobbit there. Keeping it down to an even 4v4 and now pulling back most of the G2 roster to just the sites. They don't have any presence outside at short A or long A for that matter. Fitch is going to move in, has a great angle to try and pick up an early headshot against the player at Dumpster, but misses that opportunity and now has alerted the authorities. So we've got everyone from G2 rotating back up. Fitch still holding on quite nicely, but only actually chains together the singular kill. It's traded out afterwards, and it's going to be Doja along with Adrian that'll have to try and mop things up. Primarily Doja, as unfortunately Adrian just gets wrecked back on the other side of Semi. Down to NBK, trying to clutch this for his team in a 1v2. At the very least, they've made it a very expensive round, but Doja will come out on top.
Just watching NBK's form on the last map, that was actually really scary, right? I was kind of worried for Gambit there. That seems like a spot that NBK gets at least one from. The movement, though, is on point, dodging those deagle bolts. Seems like Gambit is going with more of an aggressive approach, so that first just around and then the anti-force Force Buy round was a lot faster than you normally see them play. Maybe they're feeling a little bit like they just want to kind of just play, right? They don't want to go through this like machinations of like a slow default. You know, it's getting late at night here. I think they just want a game and headshot. Go a little faster.
Trying to change things up a little bit. We do see Gambit busting out into the B site, and it's, again, very, very quick from them. Also, Hobbit just going hunting for more kill pickups here. Already found Apex. And the rest of G2, unfortunately, again, is not really going to be in a position where they can do much. So they're stuck up at the A site. Default pistols for 2 of them. Well, just PT-50s for the others, of course. Yep. So really nothing that's attainable here. Gambit are going to walk right through this round and set themselves up at a 3-0 start.
Yeah, I like the attention to detail, too, from Gambit, where Adrenaline Hobbit, the SMG players have no utility on them, so if they were unfortunate enough to go down, they wouldn't be, you know, shedding that extra bit of money that they could have just not bought, right? Because they're expecting a super weak buy on the opposition. They don't really need all the, you know, right? Because if he had lost utility there, it's like, you're meant to go find people anyway.
Yeah, Mo nicely done on the cleanup here. Gets a quick little 4K for himself. Mopping up a G2 shot. And that will give Gambit security in their lead to start things off as we get into the first gun round. And we see investments coming across the table for G2 now. And Force, of course.
Blackamov.
What's up?
The Ob Blackamov. It's one of the few skins that's worth more if it's a battle squad.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Anyway.
Is it on Mo?
Yeah, he has like, it's like a, looks kind of worn down.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, this is an interesting setup for G2. One guy at B2 long A and 2 in connector. I don't see this very often.
Got Shox holding behind the tree, and he's already going to be able to find some impact from this position. Very well done by G2. And they pick up a combined total of 3 kills. The bomb goes down as well, so now Doge is going to have to try to push back in, use utility to be able to restore control of the bomb. And even that's going to be difficult to grab. Finds the op at least if he wants to work with that, but before going into the bomb, we'll throw out the pop flash. And actually, he's not even committing to go get the bomb yet. He peeks Kenny S, and Kenny's ready to take that fight. Down goes another one from Gambit. Just Hobbit left alive here to try and clutch against an impossible situation. A full-on 5-man play from G2 that he'd have to win against here. Shot from Shox gives him a small window, but Shox will still take him down, securing the first gun round for G2.
That is such a ballsy setup that G2 just did. Right, because that's a bonus round for Gambit. It's very likely that they could just hit B there. You know, hey, let's just throw the kitchen sink at them at B, let our SMGs run out, get some kills. Maybe we lose the round, but we'll get some kills, right? G2 stacks 4 towards A. That is a ballsy call, man. I like it, though. A lot of people like to go A, get that map control early on in the half. If you take those fights early, maybe you dissuade them from doing that later. Again, they're doing the same thing. This is a very standard default. Like, basic default is 3 plus party, A, however you want to do it. 1 holding T-pit. Once they get the long A and balloons, this guy goes up with T-pit, helps him out, maybe wants a connector flank, and the long B guy can do whatever he wants.
You can see Kenny sitting back down on the bottom of the steps too. Doja, along with Apex, both able to rack up quite a few kills here. Apex finding a second one now as well, but Hobbit finally getting at least 1 response going for the Gambit roster. We've got G2 split up in a very big way. Body way over at A. Apex should be able to fall back and work with them, but at the moment was sticking out at A long there. And the second, of course, NBK, as soon as he sees that this will more than likely be an A hit, it's also going to have to rotate back up and regroup with the rest of this team. And they're doing something interesting. The 2 guys on A are actually going to try... Oh, this is not working. There we go. They're going to try and boost over the fence to get themselves a little bit of better vision. But...
Oh, now they know where the other guy is.
Yeah.
A la cash quad boost.
I'll have a bit of a bitter effect, unfortunately, there, as Mo just snipes the guy up on top of the boost right out of his position. Hobbit also holding the flank, make sure NBK won't get anything done. It's just up to up kill. So they all clean it up nice and easily, and that gives back Gambit control and resets the losing bonus for G2. They should still potentially buy up at least a half buy here, but besides that, will be a full eco for them.
Yeah, I mean, they won the first gun round very convincingly. I think they get 4 alive. So their money isn't horrible right now if they full safe here, which they basically are. They, you know, easy to buy next round. But, you know, it's not the best start. This is a map where G2 in the past, when they win matches on it, they're usually close matches. And the reason they win it is because their CT sides are so good. Right now, the best thing you're looking at is you know, best case scenario 11-4 if they somehow pull off a miraculous victory this round. More likely 10-5, but that's still running the table after this round and ultimately low probability. I don't know, Blue. I don't know.
It's not looking good, to say the least, here for G2 at this point in time. And so now Gambit continue to actually take their own time.
It's looking grim, kind of like the ghosts on the side of that gun. Looking grim for G2. Look at this stack, though. I don't think I've ever seen that stack. It's like 2 people on... There's 4 people outside of the bathroom.
They did a little... Oh, no, it's not even a boost. It's like a 2-man stack there, and then they've got Body on the outside with Shocks playing for early intel. Problem is that Gambit are going to walk right around them.
Oh, look at this.
If anything, this screws over Adrian. So they're going to kind of meet right over here now. And actually, no, Adrian's allowed to get away with this first kill. Grouping up with the rest of his teammates. And while Kenny S sneaks off 1 kill, kind of expected we see at least that. They will very much struggle to get anything else. There's one from Apex. Still a 1v3 set against him and has to run away from that nade. Hobbit will take him down, securing the round for Gambit, and they go up 5-1. Why do...
Oh, he goes for the glass cannon. He's all in. Kenny S. I think I remember, not Moo, but Hobbit wielding an op a few rounds ago when they won that round at A. I think he picked it up just so he could ditch it after they won the round. Just to make sure, you know, none of the CTs picked it up at the same time.
We are going to see quick push out to water. Body is able to actually take down the first player as they boost up behind the pellets, but a bit of a response against them in terms of the HP battle. No actual kill though. We're down to about half HP. This is going to cause the rest of Gambit to pretty much halt in their tracks here. Didn't really pick up from Gambit. Now they got to follow, or from G2, excuse me. Now Gambit will have to follow it through, look for a way to get revenge upon this.
I think those flash pings were a little bit mistimed with the peak, right? It seemed like it blinded the CT after the guy died. So it was pretty significant, right? It's because there's obviously some time involved with killing the guy. It leads to death. The Body's going to be flirting with that short push. Flash is good, but Hobbit's smart enough to get away. Hobbit's going to be pushing. That signals to me, you know, if I'm G2 and I see this guy playing this aggressively, it's almost like a tell that it's not going to be B. Right? Like, if they were going to execute B, do you think they really be doing this at this frequency? Probably not. Like, this sounds kind of ridiculous. Like, if you hear him running back and forth, throwing flashes.
It's not even be realistic here. So now we do see Gambit getting ready to swing up towards the A-bomb, so they get security over that for themselves. Shocks is going to have to be careful here because this is going to push him back. Thankfully, it pushes him back into a pretty safe position. Now the rest of Gambit push forward. Shocks will hold on the outside of the bathrooms, and this is forced hand as well, because you'll remember he wasn't playing here before. Both Mo and Hobbit are going to be able to trade out kills, but they do not have a lot of time to get the plan. And there is still a lot of CT presence here. This is a lost round if I've ever seen one, and that will indeed be the case. G2 shut it down, getting their second onto the board finally. Yeah,
Shocks played that short A. I call that sand, because it sounds like sand when you're running on it. Some people call it banana. It's shaped like banana. Short A, he played that bathroom area amazingly. Like 180ing, killing the guy that came out long, going back to short, getting that 2K. Sure, they got 2 kills, but it's just like very tough situation to do it in. And I think I was singing high praise of NBK after their last Cobble match, where he cut the other guy's bright light. And he's on 0 frags right now, so let's go, Nathan.
0-5 for him. Of course, still plenty of time to redeem and prove himself throughout the rest of this match. And we've got Gambit once again spreading out here, pushing their players into all facets of the map. Trying to get some control.
NBK's going for a monster pick right now. Maybe getting flashed out. Hobbit kills
by Hobbit. Oh, Body gets the kill though. Is able to move in there and knock out Hobbit at least, so keeps G2 at a slight advantage here.
It's actually pretty meaningful, right? Because now their long A guy has to go back, get the bomb, question whether or not somebody pushed through B and has a lot of info. So Gambit's basically going to have to make a choice, decision, some kind of mid-round call here in the dark.
Oh man, that's a...
Oh, I don't even want to talk about that.
That's unfortunate.
It's just one of those things that happens.
Just gotta live your life,
right?
You
like
know?
if he can do that, if that can happen to Kenny, then you know,
it can happen to you.
What can you even say about it at that point, right?
Yeah, so Kenny with a bit of a whiff there, and that's going to end up costing him in a pretty bad fashion. Shox and Apex will redeem the G2 strategy in this round, however, and now leaves Doja alone. One final kill from Apex. G2 close out, and they're just 2 away from the tie now at 3-5 overall. And Gambit should be on an eco on this round, I believe. So more than likely, easy closeout.
For 5
G2
rounds
again.
already. Like 5 rounds, pretty decent here so far for Gambit, right? I'd say Overpass is like a 10-5, 9-6 type of map for team. Like if you were playing against an evenly matched team, so Gambit has a decent start. Obviously, big bolster by the team to win.
Oh, NBK quickly scoping in to be able to find a first pickup over against Hobbit. He's going to look for more here too, but he's got to be careful. Pressure has pushed itself past Monster. The quick shot, though, gives him a second kill, but Mo coming in just as quickly also knocks out NBK. For security to be able to get that bomb onto the ground. They are managing to do that, and the CTs missed their Molotov there too, I think. Now Mo moves in. I think he just got a double, but Shox coming in on the backside picks up 2 more kills. Adrian now trying to hold from within pit. He's been spotted too. Quickly swings out into the open, trying to find the kill on a body, but it won't happen. Shox should be able to roll right up, defuse the bomb, and find that 4th pickup for G2.
So G2 did that same setup that they did on the first gun round this round, right? NBK was alone at B. And he got 2.
Bomb has been defused.
That was so risky, right? Like, if Moo didn't get blind jumping back towards Monster there, I mean, that could have been a complete disaster.
But thankfully they managed to hold on to it even after we saw Mo showing up there with a nice little double op shot that he picked up for himself. So that does
Ragtag by.
Yeah, it's still weird too, right? Because they just ecoed in the last round, didn't they?
I think they bought pretty hard because they got the bomb down too.
Yeah, but they only had pistols as far as I can remember to start anyway.
Yeah, but I mean they had 1900 in the bank, so they get what the next.
Oh
round?
yeah, if they only had 1900, then that makes
Right,
sense.
so around there, right? So
Yeah.
I'm sure some people had more or less. So I think they bought pretty hard because they got a bomb plant too.
I guess I thought they just had more money than them. So going into this round though, it's going to start off a little bit better for G2. Body Shox all picking up kills. Shox holds his ground. Will lose his teammate, but goes back in for 1 more pickup. He's got to be careful because he is now alone on this site. But so is Doja, unfortunately, even after that double kill there. Still's going to have to go up against both Kenny S and NBK, both of the oppers. And he's actually backing completely away from the B site to look for options somewhere else on the map here.
I like this though. I like these kind of like super heavy pressure type strats that they run. Like it's very like trade dependent. I think that's what I'm noticing from Gambit is like their strats are very much revolving around getting trades and timing peekings and flashbangs. Because in terms of like weaponry right there, there's no way Gambit should even be in a 1v2 right now. Like they should just get wiped. So good nade placement. Good trading, so. And what this does is it puts the CT economy on the back foot, right? Like they save 2 ops. They're gonna have to rebuy. Right, so as soon as Gambit went around, they have a chance of, you know, having a reset in the near future thereafter.
It's gonna be the key though for Gambit. Is actually closing out on a round here. Is these past few, they've come close in a couple situations, but unfortunately have ended up in like 1v3s or 1v2s, and they really haven't been winnable 1v2s in a lot of these situations, or 1vx's. So needing to just keep more players alive in general on some of these takes. Don't seem to have an issue with getting site control. It's more of just the post plants really dirty. For the most part, G2 are able to deal with them pretty easily.
Again, heavy A setup. 3 dedicated bathrooms. What happens if they walk out B? You know?
It'd be quite the easy take one. But that's not happening at this point. Adrian is already able to deal with the first spots player instead of bathrooms. Now they got to deal with Kenny though, and he's not so forgiving. Picks up 2 quick kills against both Doja and Adrian, leaving only Mo. And Hobbit as well, who's already been spotted by Kenny S. So they know he's sitting behind that. Hobbit, of course, should have seen Kenny, too, from that jump up there. Just a matter of time until they try to find a way to counter him out. And that will come in the form of a boost, but look at Kenny wrapping right around him. But actually, he doesn't even stay alive. Hobbit's going to end up getting the better of Kenny, taking him down. That trades it, bringing us down to a 2v3. Heavy damage against Hobbit, though, because he did get hit by Kenny's op before going down, but it was through a wall, so only brings him down to 24 HP.
Yeah, which shot was that? Was that when he was jumping up for the boost?
I think so, yeah. It's like right as he actually successfully hit the jump boost, or hit the boost.
I always wonder why that second guy that peeked Kenny after Kenny got his first goal, why? Like, that's such an overpowered angle. It's almost like when people know it's Kenny opping, they want to go down as like loaded Kenny with an AK. Moo's going to have not a lot of time here. It's going to be hard clutch to win. Body full HP.
Plant body as well, of course, killing Mo's only remaining teammate before, getting very close to the kill, but Mo just barely escapes from behind the dumpster. And now he's looking for revenge against Body, but Mo's got to be very careful. If he's smart, he'll play this on the timer and try to trick Body a little bit here. Body not wasting any time. He's already jumped onto the defuse. It's off of it, though. Just a bit of a fake to start it off. He's now going to look for the peek from Mo. Goes directly for the kill, but no, that's the mistake. Mo is ready to hold that, and he wins the 1v1, giving the round back over to Gambit, and finally putting another one up on the board for themselves after 5 straight from G2.
That's a tilt pause, and look, just as we said, as soon as they went around, the reset. Kind of anecdotal, but I feel like I've seen Mo, I don't know how to say it. Everyone get mad at me on Twitter. Whatever. I
think most people say Mo.
What I was going to say is that I feel like he comes up with these crazy clutches when he has low HP. Like, I feel like I've seen him do that so many times. Maybe it was a major, maybe it was a tournament after that. It's like he just, like, grinds it out. He just gives him this, like, grimy, like, crouch slide as soon as he peeks him. Sure, Body didn't help himself, like, running the whole way there, but pros don't fake.
Very, very
Especially
true.
when you are occluded by an unspammable object. And you know the guy's low, so he's disincentivized to peek. Right? All these things factor in.
They all add up at the end of the day.
Synergy. Lead to a decision.
And so now, guys, this becomes, of course, a bit of a walkover round for Gambit to sort of reestablish their lead a little better. And it's going to definitely remain that way. Walkover round indeed as they move in. Oh, 2 kills from Kenny. Hold on now. Let's see if he can line up number 3 here against Hobbit. He's got him low, over to the rifle for it. So good job from Kenny, at least doing some damage, making the round expensive. But Gambit will still come out on top at the end of the day with a 7-5 lead. Now, however, G2 will come back in with the full buy. And because of the losses in the last round from Gambit, if G2 will win this round, very high likelihood that we see Gambit go on to an immediate eco.
You are not wrong, my friend. Interesting that Fitch opts for the Galil. Maybe he's going to be on a hard entry roll this round. Let's see what happens. He's going to be 6. Looks like he is. Mostly play. They have an op on the left side angle. This could be dirty for G2.
Moving in very, very quickly. NBK with a lineup to find both of them. Body contributes as well with another double. And there we go. The entire Gambit roster tries to just walk through Monster, and it goes terribly. Apex chimes in for one more kill. That's a very easy round, if I do say so.
Yeah, I mean, it's not often you keep everyone alive, especially against a gun round.
I think it's a big monster push like that as well, so a mistake.
I don't even think they threw a flash over.
What's up?
I don't even think they threw a flash
I think they did throw one flash,
really?
But it was literally like, I think it was one flash that they threw over, and that was it.
Usually the way I like to do that is have one guy who has kind of like a trash gun running the gun out first.
Oh,
and you time your flash to land behind that guy so that he can not even have to worry about dodging it. It blinds the CTs who obviously want to be shooting at him, right? So flash pops when he's already well out.
The buy from this round on Gambit doesn't inherently become a save right from the bat. They still carry quite a few very powerful weapons into the buy for this round, which you can see have already been used effectively. Of course, Adrian, the M4 now, and Mo with the op has already gotten a kill. They have also lost one too. Hobbit has gone down just outside of Monster, and it looks like the majority of the team is actually going to push back at that. So Body is ready to challenge these guys, sees them, but the fence gets in the way. Big time right there. Adrian is able to knock Body out. This is, and now we have Apex getting into the next fight here. Finding Adrian, bringing him down, evens the fight back into another 3v3 here.
You guys got a minute. Come on, you don't need to push through that. Do not need to do that.
I don't think they will.
Oh, that is crazy, actually. They are not... Who's number 4? NBK is not budging a muscle from that map spot at A.
And even Kenny S is rotating back to the double up on A side, or it could be Heaven. I'm not exactly sure based on the radar.
Just going to remain in that position, however. They do see the rest of Gambit getting ready to prop their foot up and get themselves into the B-bomb site. Time getting very low here, so they will have to go for this execute soon. I think they were trying to catch Apex first. Apex is still staying down below inside of the tracks. 10 seconds now, Gambit. You got to make a move soon. And thankfully they do it at just the right time. Kenny S is still going to be a pain for them, though. So he rotates up to Heaven, quickly knocks off Doja. They'll just be able to sneak the plant back in. Now they have to worry about the CT rotates. Moving out, though, Fitch is able to catch Kenny, knocks him down. And that leaves only NBK alive for the retake. If he even wants to go for that retake, that is, he might as well, very well bypass this and just call for the save at this point. But no, we'll be caught peeking out by Mo. And that's Gambit up to 7 as we head, or excuse me, up to 8 as we go into the final round of the half.
That's something that I notice is one of Mo's strengths is his post-plant opping. Seems like he's really has an eye for knowing where is the priority to peak, what's a vulnerable spot, what his teammates need him to do. You can just kind of see how he moves around. He's kind of just juggling all the probabilities in his head. What's the biggest risk? Where do they need to go?
We do see the T-side opper here, Mo, looking for at least one headshot that he can try to get against Apex. They find it, but it's not actually from Mo, it's from Adrian, actually, that gets the early pickup here. The rest of G2 still very spread out. Not a great support system. If players go down, there's basically zero chance these guys get trained. You've already seen an example of that with Apex. Kenny, with some very quick shots.
That was the not often seen straight-up duel between the FAMAS and the Galil. You don't really get to see that very often, so we can count 1-0 FAMAS.
FAMAS wins out today.
No damage taken.
It's going to be, again, that was, I think it was mainly due to just the snapshot accuracy from Kenny there. He instantly knocked out Doja, so.
He's an underrated rifler, I might say myself.
Very good pickup from him. Now we have the rest of Gambit getting ready to deploy into the B site. Where they go, what little smokes they have are now being deployed. And through Monster, which is always a bit of a hit or miss. Works out okay at the start, but the trades are continuing to work out okay for G2. Especially now that Kenny's back into position up on the site, leaving Mo alone. And in a moment, flanked out as well. So he's got to be careful. The pop flash will actually send Kenny further back behind the sandbags. He spams in though, scares Mo a little bit, gets him to fire off another shot. He's at 25 seconds left to plant. He doesn't realize it yet, but Monster has been flanked out, but he finds Kenny. And now if he suspects Monster for any reason, he's going to be able to detect it. In fact, Shox gives away the fact that he's moved back in, but Shox will secure that final kill at the very least, bringing G2 back into it and setting them up at 7 at the end of the half. So it is neck and neck, 8-7 between these teams that are both 0-2 at the group at this point. Stick with us, ladies and gentlemen, to find out if they are going to be able to carry this through into at least a victory for one of these teams, or if one is unfortunately going to fall flat here in a very quick fashion when we switch sides right after this here from the B stream at IEM Oakland. last time tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again to the B stream here at IEM Oakland. The group stages, the battle continues onward, and while we're jumping into the second half, it does appear as though G2 are a little bit drained, right? Based on the way that we saw a performance out of that last round.
Yeah, Kenny S basically just offering his body up to move for free well ahead of the point in time when Shox was even able to peak. I think there's been some stories in the past that when G2 gets mentally out of it, their comms suffer, which is not unlike other teams, but I think that's something that they know afflicts them for sure, and that they've taken note of. Who is this creeping past? Apex is going to be able to get past the consideration of Adren here, but Adren's already picked up 2 frags, so it might just be futile at this point.
Doesn't help as well, but Mo also picks up the kill here, bringing G2 down to just 2 players remaining. It's only Shox and Apex to work off of here now.
Yeah, and it's a pistol round, man. 2v5s are definitely more possible in pistol rounds than they are in rifle rounds.
Yeah.
So.
Won't count them out just yet. Both of them will be proceeding up to the B site, and I think Fitch may have just seen Shox. Regardless, though, Fitch is now dead. Apex finding him at very long range from outside of Monster. Able to eliminate him there. At least still 2 of them standing on G2, and they'll very quickly rush up to the site. Apex, actually holds the line. Thought for certain he's going to get overwhelmed. But
oh, man.
what is this? They're turning it around, actually.
They're just shoulder peeking everything.
Yeah, they're just slowly whittling these CTs down one by one here. Still a little bit of work to do before they get it, but there's another kill from Apex all of a sudden. He's lost Shox, but Shox wasn't doing much to begin with. It was all from Apex. And finally, he will go down to Doja, giving the round over to Gambit and securing their pistol and potentially their lead to start off the second half now.
Wow. That actually almost came back. It's crazy how many individual battles they allowed them to take. I was expecting Gambit just to have those 2 guys in pit hide while the guys spotted from heaven and force them to plan. It seems like a pretty foolproof way of going about it. But you never know. I mean, I've never been in a match against the likes of G2. Maybe they just take your head off for free, I think.
G2 are now going to force and look for a bit of an aggressive response to the loss of the pistol run. No plant was gained for them. There's not much merit in fully saving for a 3rd round buy. They'll instead just buy everything up here. Look to try and start this half off a little bit chaotic. If they can trade it 1-1, then maybe they can steal the lead away, of course, with the second round 1, assuming Gambit don't come back and upset them again.
Oh, look at this smoke play from Doja.
Doja right up inside. He's going to be able to hear all these footsteps going across after the flashes fade away, of course. But meantime, entry power is working out well, but he can only get 1. The trades are pretty wild, but it works out in G2's favor. And even better now with Body finding 1 more kill onto Mo, just leaving Fitch alive in a 1v3 situation. But he's found 1 pickup here, wrapping over, still trying to look for the kill over onto Body too, and he gets it. Quick headshot. Can he close out in the 1v3? He can. So that keeps Gambit in control. Upsets against the G2 force buy and allows for Gambit to now get into double digits at a 10-7 lead.
I don't know if Fitch specifically baited out them to peek him on that side because he knows that G2 like to double peek in those kind of scenarios, but I think he has been doing his homework because he was so obvious about the fact that he expected him to double peek, right? And if they double peek him from the left side, that is so much worse than the way he kind of like baited them into going right. That was awesome.
So guys, we're gonna end up in another pause. I believe this will be from G2.
Yeah, there's no way they're happy about losing that 1v3.
Yeah,
that could have turned the match around.
No, pretty much, right? Because that would have been them essentially taking the lead if we assume that they win the next round afterwards, where Gambit forces, or assumably forces.
That was all because they didn't have head armor, right? I think those guys had armor. They didn't have head armor.
They just didn't have full armor, yeah.
He just like popped them.
It's that MT9, man. It's coming back. It's the gun.
That was a very pleasing noise, too.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's very smooth spray. It's very easy to control. So
I have that cool like JW hot rod souvenir, so I can like jump around and feel cool like JW.
We are going to be getting back into it here, guys, as the pause resumes the game. G2 will be, well, trying to buy into this round, but as you can see, it's definitely not the norm, to say the least here. They have to kind of Frankenstein buy things a little bit here. Toss over an AK to Apex, for instance, and that's donated by NBK, so NBK is only getting up on a Deagle that's donated to him by Apex. You know, the circle goes around. But it leads into this semi-force buy that they've managed to put together. And they're really going to have to hope that this works, because if not, it's going to set them back even further, unfortunately. Good start to it. It's a little bad start to it, actually.
And he just got legged.
Yeah. And Mo is going to look to do it again here. He knows he's got Apex in the corner. The flash doesn't do all that much. He pushes past the smoke. Oh, and that was the one AK they had besides Shox's as well. So what a terrible way to start it off. He also had all the utility for like most of the team as well. So that's probably the best target out of all 5, and they could have just randomly picked off
the
right there.
IGL too.
Yep. So a perfect start to the round for Gambit.
That was like killing 3 birds with 1 stone. Took out his mental game, took out his utility, took out his AK.
So one less rifle, at least the G2 are going to have, or that Gambit are going to have to worry about upon the execute. G2 seem like they're just going for a straight A play now. That slower style has not really worked out for them. Mo picking up 1 and 2. Where's number 3? There it is. Kenny will actually stop Hobbit from completing the flank, but Doja on the secondary flank gets things done, putting Gambit up to 11 now. And like I said before, setting G2 back further because now they got to eco again.
Yeah, G2 looked deflated at this point. They had their chances to get back in this game. I'm actually surprised it's this close at this point. Yeah, Moo made that look easy. That's super op-heavy angle. You basically have to run straight at an opper and you don't have much to hide behind, so you better have a good plan if you're coming up short A when Moo has an op.
We are going to see G2 again play things very slowly in this round here with Doja. Pick up the first kill.
That was a 1B pick, huh?
Yeah, that was going to be Mo for a second there, but he missed the shot. Hobbit's got the flank established, though. Oh, and he dropped the bomb. Someone else should be able to go back and retrieve that, but they're going to have to fight Hobbit for it, and it won't be a success. Gambit shut it down again, and everyone stays alive. So they're building up cash, and with rounds like that, they're going to build it up very quickly. So G2 need to put a stop to this right now, otherwise G2's got maybe 1-2 more chances after this round to stop Gambit.
Yeah, if G2 lose this round, they're probably going to force buy out the rest of the half and just say F it to a certain extent. And look, Gambit has their own A-heavy stack. 4 towards A, 1B. Bomb's going towards B, albeit with 2 guys, and it looks like they're going to slow down as he drops a bomb outside a monster. A slightly different default than we've seen, is it 1-2-2? Yeah, it was. Fitch just wide people in there. I don't really like doing that. There's so many little like angles, annoying things to hide behind in the playground area.
Hydra gets revenge at least. Finds Shox trying to lurk out from the fountain area. So he's going to be able to take him down. And now we've got NBK. Where are you going, man? He's going to try to lurk up the steps a little bit, maybe? Hobbit should be able to hear him. But does Hobbit want to take the risk on trying to push him? Sneaking down. Ooh, good read by NBK. He's able to detect Hobbit, take him down, and restore a little bit of an advantage for G2 to play off of. Gambit seem to have the read on G2 big time here, though. They've got everybody rotating down, but the smoke is a bit of a bait, gets Doja to peek into construction, and gives Kenny another kill for G2 here.
Yeah, it's good to see Kenny hit the shot after that other round that we saw.
Oh, still in the sight, though, picking up 2 more kills, and
a molly.
Look, he burned out Kenny as well. So all of a sudden, Mo showing up again with this massive play. Single-handedly turns the round on its heels, and now has brought Mo down incredibly low. Just needs 1 or 2 more shots to be able to finish him off. But Mo has had a great round himself. Not great enough, though. NBK shuts it down after that amazing one-tap to start it off for himself. And that puts G2 back on the board at 8-12.
I actually really enjoy how NBK won that clutch. Did you notice how he barely moved? Like from the
especially at the start.
Yeah, from like 3 seconds before he got that kill that was hiding like on the railing behind the default box to actually finally killing the last guy, like he barely moved at all. And that's actually really hard to deal with because a lot of the way that players aim is very prediction based, right? So when Mo's hiding behind the pole or he goes down headshot and pit, he kind of has like a mental image in his mind of like where NBK is, right? But NBK played that completely different than most players would play it. And I think that's what caught Moo off, because obviously he's been hitting fast shots. He almost won that round for his team. He's sitting on 31 and 11.
which is
Quietly.
very impressive for this point of the game.
The quiet 30 bomb.
It's been very quiet, but I mean, it's really, especially in the second half, he's really been showing up. I think with some of these op rounds. I mean, just the last 2 rounds alone, I think he's gotten like 6 or 7 kills alone. So
And a nice little molly as a parting gift from Kenny. He's like, I don't want to op battle you, just die in my flames.
nice little pickup for himself there on the last round, but. Important round for Gambit now, as they can still shut down G2 right here and resume the winning streak to go right up to 16 rounds.
Did you see where that guy was jump spotting sandbag? There's this cool nade my buddy taught me where, you know, where you throw that like Molotov that lands short B near the sandbags?
Yeah.
In that same area, if you jump throw a nade, like a running jump throw, you can get it to like almost hit right where the guy is jump spotting. Right, so like guys like Nico and FaZe jump spot that habitually almost every single gun round. You can get a little nade right on his noggin, maybe he'll stop.
It's like shock treatment for CS players.
You spam him through the wall, nice little entry. Don't have to deal with him one-tapping you. This looks like it might be an explode on the B with Shock's faking towards A with his CZ.
Shock should get killed by Fitch, though. Yeah, he's going to be able to find him pretty easily right there. A bit of a close fight almost from Shock to be reacted slightly quicker, but Fitch
Just call.
get the better of him. And actually, yeah, this is a little bit weird because the one kill they got was on B. But they've now sent everyone back up top towards the A site, so this is definitely...
And the guy, number 8, who's Doji, he heard them. He was sitting at graffiti.
Well, and now they've got everybody up here. So what's the plan, G2? How are you going to make this execute work? Apparently through a very good flashbang, but Hobbit and Fitch, the 2-man team, is pretty much single-handedly shutting down the hit. Apex gets one more kill, but afterwards, Gambit win it out. And now where does that leave G2 money-wise? Can't be good. Ooh, man, it's terrible. They have no money. The most they have is 3K on Apex. The average is between 1.5 and 2.5.
They basically need some kind of miracle to come back at this point, let's be honest. Somebody's got to get some kind of ridiculous deagle round. Something that's got to work out. There's no way they're going to be able to grind this out from 14 to 8.
Yeah.
Gambit are just way too far ahead of the money.
And they're going to force it too. It's a bit of an aggressive response to that.
Can run him down.
Oh knows he's been outwitted here, so he's getting the hell out of the steps there. He's gonna fall back to the site very promptly after missing that shot. Well, this gives early control to G2, and they're gonna follow it up with the B execute. The thing is, Gambit actually don't have a whole lot of presence down here at B, at least immediately in the site. It's pretty much just Doja and Hobbit. The rest are gonna have to rotate back in. Great response flashes, lets Doja at least let up a double kill, but now he's been downed by Kenny. The rest of the team will be on the way back down. We see Fitch peeking back out. Gotta be careful though against some of these pistols. They can pick you off at range, and you don't even see it coming. You see Gambit bargaining back in for control of the site. Fitch is going to be overwhelmed, though. They all run into pit. They find 2 more kills. Hobbit can't trade it even back either. It's down to Mo, and he's going to go picking for shots at heaven. That won't work. Kenny shuts him down, and G2 put together another round on their what could have been their last force right there.
Every single person in the room right now has their hands on their head. I'm kidding, but half.
There's only 3 of us in the room. So, well, no,
4.
that's just 4, yeah. She didn't have her hands on her head, though.
Don't admit to Twitch that there's a girl in the room. You just started a whole firestorm. Anyway, I think that right there is an example of why the French force spy is notorious, right? Like, that was such a scrappy execute. They were like running and throwing flashes. Like, hey, I'm just running up short B, completely in harm's way, throwing flashes in the air.
The execute was pretty like bad, to be honest.
I thought it was like scrappy. I call that a running execute.
Yeah, I guess you'd probably be more right on that one. But there was that like huge push they made to pit that really won the round for them, because it doesn't seem like Gambit expected that at all, and it really threw them off their mark, especially for Fitch. Because when they lose Fitch, they got baited into having everyone peek back out, and they just lost so many 1v1s at that point.
Yeah, Fitch took that fight on his own. I think he could have hid a little earlier than that. Maybe took that early engagement and stuck around.
He wasn't that far out, so there was definitely room for him to get back.
Yeah.
Get into the next round, though. G2 taking their time with it, but certainly slowly progressing towards a victory in this round, I believe. As it's down to just 2 now from Gambit. Both split up on their respective sites. Both also with deagles, so don't count them out just yet. As the fight is going to continue on. Got Adrian. Bathroom players, but the A-long guy is going to get him before he's a chance to spot anyone at the bathrooms. Doja, really not much left for him to be able to do.
I always love that when I'm getting pressured at the complete opposite site, and my buddy at the other side is just like super like myopically focused on like a very irrelevant angle.
Very specific.
It's like, all right, man, like I just told you there's 3 people over here. Come on. So he's hunting for a gun. I don't know what NBK had. I don't remember. Believe it or not, I don't remember every gun, piece of utility from the beginning of every round. It's kind of hard to remember and then wipe that slate clean every single round.
You gotta step it up.
How do you do it?
I don't know. You acquire a photographic memory.
Acquire it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Train your brain, you know? Oh, man. Doji wanted the knife fight.
That sounds like some kind of like gimmicky product you could sell.
It's like an app we can make. There probably is an app called Train Your Brain that's just like...
Oh, there's probably 10,000
just like play some games and you'll refresh your mind.
Cool app. I'm sure they have it as like something to help you like remember smokes.
I'm pretty sure there is one actually.
Like just like a flashcard or something.
I think it's more of like just like little GIFs that show you the lineups. But I'm pretty sure there's an app that shows you smokes. No, it's GIF, isn't it? He just says yes to GIF.
I'm not gonna fight you guys.
I think the guy who invented that format of file said it's GIF, but everyone else just told him no, that's wrong. So that's how that ended up happening.
Interesting.
Apparently.
G2 Esports is gonna be kicking up the velocity of their short A take right here. I think they've noticed that if somebody's out of place at long A, it's kind of got a weird flank going on here by MBK.
Yeah, so we're gonna see that come into fruition a little bit later on here, but G2, of course, pretty much trying a straightforward take attempt. Mo doesn't have any coverage on long, though.
Back dice,
oh,
that
man.
guy's screwed.
Fitch is going to be able to hold on for a little bit longer, but Mo, yeah, as you said, he's dead very quickly, and Fitch only chased together that one kill, so very clean entry for the most part from G2, with the exception of the trade on the body. And these last two, I really don't think they have room to bargain for the retake at all, especially Doji now that he is alone in this 1v4. Can hopefully get at least one kill just by holding at these steps, but I think anything beyond that is kind of pushing his luck a bit. So it might be best to just hide out here.
You know what I just thought of after seeing that execute?
What?
I thought of the fact that these players that are on G2, many of them were on LDLC, right? Which is when they won the major for Overpass, and he's not going to be able to save the gun. And this is G2 somehow grinding their way back into this game. That force buy is huge. And Gambit's got a difficult decision to make right here. They must have been feeling high a few rounds ago. Now they're just like, oh man, back to this thing again.
Back to the old grind. They're going to just call for an outright full save on this round. Literally, just utility being blown up. I think they bought a smoke and a flash, and that's it.
Fountain push is in order.
Oh, Apex seen it, though. He's seen at least one of them. They got to know something's up. Oh, that was a weird bounce.
What do you call that thing it bounced off of?
With the little ball?
Yeah, what do you call it?
An obelisk? There's not really a name for that.
You're such a meme lord, I love it.
But Kenny's gonna be able to move in.
There's no way you would call it that.
It's like a chess piece. It's like a pawn. You call it a pawn, I guess.
I like that.
Yeah,
That's good. An ornament?
Yeah.
What kind of decoration?
Ornament? Yeah.
I don't know.
I like obelisk. They're on top of like big pillars, so.
Yeah, that's true.
And then that's just German. Oh, I was gonna read it.
Obelisk is like a strong word.
Yeah. You feel like a fancy man when you read it.
It'd be a good CS name if it had a capital N in there somewhere.
Well, we've got G2 spread out once again here. They're gonna slow play the round again, I believe. Okay, I say that, but Shocks.
I don't think Fitch is aware of this timing.
No, I don't think he is either. Unless Shocks makes some noise, there's no way he's going to know. Ooh, but Mo's got the door covered. But this is going to get interesting because Fitch just made noise. So Shocks knows he's right on the outside of the door. He's going to play this cautiously. Ooh. Oh, and Shocks actually gets the kill on a Fitch despite being spotted. Mo, credit to him. Good quick response with a nade. Knows he hit him once and is able to take him down low. But now comes the actual hit in the B site. And it's a 1-2 trade now with Gambit finding their second kill. Hobbit's still alive in the pit, but he won't get anything done. Adrian swinging out, though. Finds another kill, and it's a 1v1 between the Oppers. Mo and Kenny fighting to the death. Try and take control of this match. And for G2, it means a whole lot more as they can break Gambit again, put them onto another eco, and allow for G2 to take the lead here. For Gambit, it's about preserving the lead. Trying to put G2 back down to the ground. All goes quiet there. Neither Opper wants to make the first move. There's 40 seconds left, so plenty of time for Kenny to extend this and play it and essentially ad infinitum. But As he does finally start to shift out, he's going to need to be very, very careful creeping up to the actual site, as Mo is waiting on the left side. CT coming, there he is, but Kenny hits the shot anyway, closing out for G2 and tying us up at 13-13. And like I said before, unless they want to force it here, more than likely it's another half buy for Gambit, and that should be a round G2 should win.
Yeah, I mean, just an insane round by G2. Is that basically that 4-1 split that they like to do. Shox is probably like, hey, if I get bathrooms control A, I could probably get a pick somewhere. You guys just wait outside of B and not die. Sure enough, wins the round. Shox made a sick play there. I like that smoke. It's like he almost knew exactly what the setup was. You can't fake experience, Blue.
No, you cannot.
You cannot fake an obelisk either.
But you can bounce a nade off it, apparently. Apex.
Now I can't stop looking at them. This is really annoying.
They do look more like chess pieces than anything else, if I'm being honest. They just look like pawns. Just like someone put them all up there.
I'm like telling myself to look at his crosshair right now. Jesus.
Don't look at the pawns.
Yeah.
Or the obelisks. Well, neither team really getting anything going at the start here. G2, though, seem to be slowly pushing Gambit back at the very least, so G2 will penultimately have the advantage here at the end of the day.
So now Kenny S is watching Apex's back. So Fitch pushes around. He does. I don't think Kenny spotted him.
Very low, of course, but now they'll move in, and Adrian ready to take the fight against Apex.
This is getting sticky.
Quickly knocks him out. Teasel back away from the situation. Always that corner that seems to trick people for some reason. So Hobbit and now Doja will get a kill. NBK still holds at the end of the hall. With Body finding this kill on Doja, though, that does for the most part open up the site. Doja playing, or Body, excuse me, playing defense more than anything else here now, especially after it's been brought down to just Fitch left alive in the 1v2. But he can cut NBK off right here. He doesn't expect it, and there we go. There's the kill. Now we're down to a 1v1 again.
Oh, this plan is so hard to deal with, though.
Look at how quickly Fitch is moving back into the site. Body is not even checking for it right now. Walks around, but he shoots a little bit too early. Only brings him down to 27 HP. What? Will still be able to close out those Body peaks after that flash has popped way too soon. That gives the round over to Fitch and over to Gambit, who is now going to take back their lead at 14-13.
I feel like that was a pretty big blunder there from Body. How do you not drop off the site? You knew exactly where this guy was. I guess the only thing he's thinking about is the fact that he doesn't know whether or not he's walk pushing him close. Like, realistically, if who was that? Fitch. If Fitch played his timing perfectly and made like as little sound as possible while gaining as much ground as possible, he could have been almost in the sight box from short. So I think that's maybe why Body did what he did. Obviously, he's not completely misinformed that he could be long. But as soon as he gets in the pit with that bomb plant, that's overwhelmingly advantageous for him. So Fitch coming up with a huge clutch there. I don't know, man. This is
Who's up
this is an emotional roller coaster for me. I don't even know how Apex feels, man. These teams are 0-2. Top 10 teams, obviously. Maybe even top 5, depending on who you ask. Right? I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't put Gambit in the top 5, but other people might. What I'm trying to say is we have a banger of a match right here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very much going to go pretty much all the way here. It's almost guaranteed, I think, with the way the round's been traded out, too. I think it's very unlikely that Gambit just 2-0 sweep this at this point in time, especially considering the reset potential that's set up against them now. If they lose this round, with only one player surviving in the last round, that should be immediate reset afterwards. And that would pretty much actually let G2 go straight up to 16. So Gambit pretty much have to win this round. If they want to win this in regulation, that is. Otherwise,
I think it's interesting. We haven't seen many CT setups getting aggressive in the short P water area. Like, I feel like
there's been zero like water pressure. I think there was eco rounds where they pushed out, and Hobbit got a kill from that little cubby in water here. But okay, Kenny, hold on, I'm gonna throw that smoke a little bit quicker. Does survive it though.
I think we saw a Molotov land in the short pipe, but nobody pushed behind it. A lot of the time you'll see that, and then like a flash land and an opper peek through the pipe. I don't know, man. Maybe people are just trying to try other stuff out.
Well, we do have
mix it up.
We do have G2 getting ready to push forward over towards B. And they've got a pretty open path, actually. Hobbit would be the first player to resist them, but he's focused, as you can see there from the silhouette, on construction way more than he's watching for Monster at this point. Obviously, though, from that position, could play to either, defend either position here.
That's such an annoying position to get a CT out of because you can't really flash him.
Yeah. The flash is going in. Hobbit holds, drops the bomb. That's going to sound the alarm. Everyone rotating in as we see more kills coming out from both sides. Apex's third pickup for the team, though, evens it back out and destroys the last man that was still alive on the site from Gambit. We have Mo, along with Fitch, attempting to rotate in, but Fitch is beaten out by Apex, who was already holding in water, expecting him to rotate down through the connector. All on Mo now to clutch a 1v2. Otherwise, his team faces a complete economic reset, and potentially this would allow for G2 to go all the way up to 16 rounds with Gambit on suboptimal buys the entire way. Mo looking for the rock to get back into this, but misses the upshot, and that'll seal the deal for G2 as Apex kills Mo. That's the end of Gambit's money. And you can immediately see that they're going to force buy in one more time here, but most players aren't even going to be able to afford a FAMAS.
So this might be a spot where we'd see a short B push, right?
I think you're right, yeah. Especially with that shotgun there.
Something to note there, remember what I said earlier about how G2 like to play their 2VXs? They like to double peek. Did you see what they did right there? Double peek, right? They knew he had an op, so they're like, for sure we want to double peek. Make sure that it's not at the exact same time though, right? We don't want to line up. Now we're guaranteed 30 rounds. Hell yeah.
Absolutely, it's going to be going all the way. And with Gambit spending all of their cash right here, and only just now starting the losing bonus. Like I said before, if they drop this one, they're going to have to try and take it to OT on basically like CZ buys.
Kind of like how Liquid did against them on Mirage.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's
not completely out of the realm of possibility, and in fact, Gambit could
body out with a smoke.
Gambit could very well win this round right here if they play it properly. Doja won't be as lucky as Mo was, however. He's caught in the side pipe by Shocks.
I made this analogy earlier in Pro League, how going at A and investing in the time and energy and defaulting towards A and taking the map control is kind of like cooking a nice, you know, dinner, like 3-course dinner, whereas going B is super easy and just lazy. It's just like warming up like a microwave food. And it seems like G2 is proving to Gambit that they like to go A, right? Because if you're a team that just relies on those fast B hits because it's just too lazy to develop that default towards A, teams will start to stack that with nades. Play passive A.
Got Execute coming in now from G2 onto the A site. This is it. Make or break right here. Put Gambit onto a terrible buy. And that's all they have to do is win out the rest of this round. Apex has already found Fitch. Mo is going to be heard scoping from miles away with that consistency on it. And with Kenny's kill and Apex to close it out, G2 get to map point first at 15-14. And like I said before, the buy from Gambit primarily is going to be CZ buys, as they all buy down from pretty much just 2K.
Feels bad, man. Had to happen to somebody, though.
Feels wrecked. So while it's not over yet, Gambit would certainly have to pull off the miracle round here to make it happen. But we have seen it plenty of times before. We've seen teams get overconfident. We've seen teams be too secure of their position and just assume that they're going to win these rounds too easily. And actually end up overplaying themselves because of that.
Exactly.
Just would let the CT side upset me at times, including one time today when we saw earlier the Renegades play against Liquid, going up against very similar circumstances.
Couldn't have said any better myself. Ooh.
Fortunately, nothing will happen as a result of that flash. Just points for accuracy, I suppose.
That happened? Wonder if he would have thrown that flash.
Bless you. Gesundheit.
Is that even a word?
It's German, I think.
Oh.
There you go. Look at the observers sing. DJ went too. I'll give you a little bless, you know?
Yeah.
Bless up. But we do have G2 after quite a bit of delay, actually, which is kind of worrying, because a lot of times that I see these teams slow down to a massive degree, that's when they leave things unchecked, they make mistakes, because they're suddenly rushed into an execute at like 30 seconds. And there we go. Perfect example right there. As they don't check Mo's corner. Look at this, Doja waiting in the corner. They manage him, but there's the trade from Adrian. And this is when things are getting a little bit hairy. We still have G2 trying to slowly lurk up towards the A site. And thankfully they're covering most of their bases. Kenny watching the flank.
Oh no,
Apex. Now in getting to the site. Oh, Apex flanks around, finds Mitch. He does check that back dice box position. So the plant will go down in a clean way, and only 2 CTs remain to keep Gambit in this match. Hobbit and Adrian.
Oh.
Hobbit gets his first for free. Shox will be winning on the outside, but Hobbit takes him down as well. It's now up to Apex in a 1v2.
They have a smoke. They have a smoke. No kit, though.
Apex has got a lot of utility, and he's coming in on a flank.
Look, Hobbit has a smoke.
That's very true.
Oh,
They're
jeez.
probably going to wait on that a little bit. They might even actually check behind them here. Hobbit will jump on to the defuse. Full 10 seconds. The spam coming in from Apex. It's an outright get the kill, and now he's going to be peeked. No! Apex not able to get behind coverage quickly enough, so Adrian will be able to pull off this defuse. I think he does.
It's going to be very close.
I think he's got it. Let's see. Oh, he's just got it. And with that, we go to OT, ladies and gentlemen. 15-15. The score will be reset. It'll be the first team to 19 to win this match.
Jeez, man.
Literally like the last 2 or 3 ticks that had to be right there.
Yeah.
So we'll just sit in all of that for a moment there, that actually happened. We talked about it so much, too, about how, like, we've seen it happen before, so it could happen again, and then...
I swear, man, I feel like the logical, like, construct of let's go slow because they're force buying. Like,
it doesn't work on that last round for whatever. Like, it works for the an earlier rounds, but for whatever reason, whenever people do it in really late rounds, like late half or
I feel like
late
there's too
second
much
half,
variation in what people can do with a force buy that the benefit of going slow, which is the fact that you could be thorough and consider things. You can't consider everything.
The problem that I've noticed, right, is that earlier on in the rounds are pretty much, they're much like lower risk for the most part. So I've noticed people will still like go through the motions. They'll check everything and they'll keep that going up to a site. What I have noticed is in like late rounds, they'll go through the motions up to a certain point in the map where they all just freeze. And then they just sit there until like 30 seconds, and then they just go lightning speed up to the site. And the problem is they still have left like half the map unchecked.
Yeah, it's like all right, we're doing this by the book, and then they wait, and then it's like
Yeah, and then that's when all the issues arise, because that's when we see like 2 to 3 kills for free coming out from whoever's forcing in that situation, and then it just kind of spirals out of control from there. This time, G2 is going to waste no time on their execute here. Already 3 kills for them, and this is happening all over the map, too. I think Gambit got a little bit aggressive as well, and they're paying the price for it.
Like, how could you go that fast against rifles, but not against pistols?
Yeah, right?
Like, why? I don't get that.
I guess it's just a fear of failure, which is ironic, because it often leads to failure.
That was deep.
Yeah, was it?
So deep.
Just thought that up now, so I'll write it in my journal later. Mo knows he's not clutching this, so he's just going to sit up on top. Not really a merit in saving again, because it's OT and you have 16k, but not really much that Mo can do, unfortunately. It's a 1v4. He has no intel in terms of what they've done for post-plant. And yeah, it's just better for him to save. And there we go. Oh, actually almost turned it around. But Apex will take him down.
And I think he has the safety net of the 16k MR3.
Yep.
Actually, is it MR3 or MR6? I always forget.
It's MR3.
Yeah.
Because I think the MR command applies to halves the full game.
Okay. All right, we have. Wow, we didn't even notice. Apex and Kenny S are also in the 30 bomb club along with Moo. Apex at 38.
How much did Mo go up to, out of curiosity?
He's 34 right now, so he's slowed down a bit.
Slowed down quite a bit then, which is unfortunate.
Look at this. Look at his speed. G2's like, come on, guys, let's just turn up the velocity a little bit.
That's literally what they did. They're just playing so fast right now, and it's working really well too. There's like the usual trade that's going to happen simply because you've adapted that type of play style.
Yeah.
But besides that, the actual takes and everything, they're happening. They're working well. They're winning the round at least, and they're doing pretty much the same thing. And once again, they've gotten great control only a few seconds into the round.
It's like their version of the Virtus plow, right? You know when you go like 2 Gs, G2.
Oh.
Is that a reach? I think it might be a little bit applicable.
A little bit, yeah.
Let's just say I like when they're playing with confidence, right?
Yeah, which is what they've done now. They moved in, they got a few kills. Now they can hold back because the CTs are going to want to get revenge, obviously.
Revenge frags. That's an EU term. Look at you. You're so woke. Potent.
All right, well, NVK's found Hobbit, so it's just Fitch left alive now in a 1v5 as we slowly losing our minds over here. Fitch is going to
that happened a long time ago.
Fitch is going to push back up. NVK gets the last kill, And we have a solid G2 lead established, 17-15, going into the final round of the first half of OT.
I feel like I've watched so many tournaments where, you know, at the end of the day, the casters kind of say the same thing. Like, at this point, we're going delusional, right? Like, there's always some, like, just give us a break. We'll cast the game.
Well, let's see here from G2. Bit of a slower setup this time, or at the very least, Gambit is not giving those early kills.
They're waiting. Oh, the
We've
flash.
got the great flash. Oh, but Hobbit just stays in the open there for so long. Opens up another opportunity here, too, as Doja tries to peek Monster. Body spamming in through the wall, even. Gets the trade kill and restores the advantage for G2. And now they're pretty much just going to give up on Monster control, actually. It looks like a little fall back, and I think they'll go for A control again, which has been the go-to for the previous 2 rounds, and it's worked on both of those rounds. Especially now with 2 players on Gambit dead, that very long walk up to the A site is going to be just a little bit easier to do now.
So my theory right here would be send one guy towards A, right? Because when you're clearing all of this territory towards A, there's no guarantee that nobody's here, right? They could have reaggressed for information earlier on in the round. You've not cleared out long A. So going back here is basically a long distance, and then every basically inch you take raises the probability that you meet somebody, that you die, right? So I say cover less ground, leave one guy there to make sure you don't get flanked, hit B together, right? They're probably not going to 3-stack B. I usually take the approach of shortest distance, therefore less probability of dying.
G2 will end up grouping up down by B, although they don't have the bomb right with them. The bomb is actually going to be a little bit close. Should make it to the site with like an extra 10 seconds or so.
Oh.
The problem is they haven't really cleared out this site at all, so Adrian's still going to be at heaven causing problems, trying to delay the plant. The bomb has just now arrived, and it's going to have to go right down onto the ground, like I said before. 5 to 10 seconds in excess. Just barely sneak the plant in.
Wow.
Apex with another kill on Adrian as well. Continues to reduce the numbers for this CT side. And the kills just seem to come out of absolutely nowhere from G2 as they've been dominating on this T side. But the round here is not over just yet. We've got the rest of Gambit pushing forward. Good flashbang. Who did that come from? Was it a T or CT flashbang? Looks like
T.
The second one was T. Yeah, I can see a CT one. So move back in. The CTs will try to flank through pit. And actually, this goes unnoticed at first.
Jesus.
No way. Apex holding back over here by Monster. He's going to go down too. And with the defuse kit, Fitch is going to be able to sneak this off. So we go 17-16. Gambit throw in that retake out of absolutely nowhere. And G2 will fail to have the perfect half.
All right, well, you know what? That makes me feel a little better because now I know that we are not the only ones that are tired. It was very evident that G2 is tired in the way that they approached that bomb site defense. It was almost like they were like, Gambit's late to the party. It's going to be hard for them to defuse, right? There's like 10 seconds left. It was just kind of like peak, like without any kind of like concerted reasoning or timing, who does what. I was like, that was a complete blunder, right? There could have been one guy that was 100% hiding. It's like they had to You know what? I didn't want to bring it up.
Oh, hello.
But I think that it bears mentioning that Body's had kind of like a quiet past few months, right? So there was a few months when he joined G2 where, you know, he did a decent job. There's kind of like no real differentiator between he and Devil, who is also the other new pickup for Envious at the time. It's been a while, right? But then after a few months of that, it kind of was very clear that Body was the better fit for the team. Not necessarily the better player overall, but is the better fit for the eventual team. And there's a lot of good things said about, like, this is the next, you know, Shocks or whatever. He's the next big French player. He's going to take the mantle after we're done. But I've been kind of underwhelming the last few months, to be honest. Like, I think he needs to maybe change up his style of play a little. He's been anchoring the same bomb sites, right? And for a new guy in the scene, people are going to figure out how he plays, right? He's probably going to have less variation than, you know, a veteran that plays that same spot, right? Because he plays inner on train. So yeah, Body, let's go, baby. Kick it up a few notches. I know you can do it.
All right, we're going to see if we can kick it up a few notches, and if G2 can close out this series, as Gambit did win, like we said before, and we got that nice little radio cast for you, the initial round of this half.
Double ops on both sides.
On T side as well, which is going to be a little bit interesting to see, but I can definitely see some use out of it, especially, you know, at the start of the round, if you have a position being taken early on by like Fountain or something like that, try and take out an opera that pushes party, and then by Monster, I imagine the op could do quite a bit of work too if there's not constant smokes being thrown into it. But both the early kills go by the way of G2. Destroys Doja and Adrian. Mo strikes back, killing Kenny inside of the steps.
He just can't help himself, right? It's like, I don't want to peek this, but I have to.
I must kill. And then BK will find another pickup here to compensate for the loss of their teammate. Remaining CTs here all spreading out. They still don't necessarily know where the hit's going to come from just yet, but with only 2 players left alive, it's going to be a pretty low pressure situation regardless, especially with how much these 2 Gambit players are split up now.
Low pressure?
What?
Low pressure for who?
For G2.
Okay. I thought you meant for Gambit.
No,
I was like,
no,
oh, man.
No.
Whew.
No, it's about as high pressure as we can get here. It's like a quarter pounder of cheese high pressure, you know?
Jeez.
But Fitch is going to move in, gets the first kill. There's a part of the site. Apex, oh, he almost swings that and gets the double, which would have been very impressive to say the least. Now Fitch is left alone. Oh, and that's an unfortunate way for the round to end. A nade launched over the dumpster. Oh, okay. Shocks also kills himself, but it's overtime, so that doesn't matter because he can just buy back everything anyway.
16K. Hey, hey, hey.
Easy money. And we go in to the final round of OT.
Whoever says you can't IGL and frag, take a look at Apex. My boy, he's entry fragging IGLing and owning. Who's going to pick up Kenny S? Perhaps the first step towards another frame of overtimes, another 6 rounds of fun. The bomb is alone outside B. This is not good. Apex is going to push him, probably find this frag. Hobbit sitting in the corner, not even firing a single bullet.
Apex is going to be careful pushing a Dren, though. Because now the problem is Doja's traded out this kill, Body can no longer, you know, constantly watch the bomb. He's going to watch the fight of construction. Gets a win, though. And he almost caught Doja. If he peeked out a little bit more there, would have had him dead to rights. But for now, we'll back up to Toxic. He has moved away from the bomb. I was a bit surprised we didn't see Shocks rotating down a little bit sooner, but I don't imagine he's going to go anywhere past Heaven. 1, because he's got an op, and 2, because there's still the uncertainty of whether Gambit are going to stay committed to this B site or try to fall back towards C or try to fall back towards T spawn and then wrap up.
Exactly. This is actually a pretty hard scenario for CTs to deal with. The only plus is, I guess, that it's overpass, such that the rotates between each bomb site are one of the fastest of any map, maybe save nuke.
Well, we do also have a very low utility count for G2 here, which means if they do end up gambling on the wrong site, they're going to come back to haunt them in a big way. They have definitely tried to put a little bit of pressure towards upper in case the rotate happened. I think Body's looking for safety more than anything to keep the 2v2 alive. Smoke's now out on the site. He hasn't actually seen anyone yet, but that's going to change very quickly. The bomb going down, that should immediately call for Shocks to rotate in. Again, Body's taking a bit of a risk by peeking out so aggressively without the support of Shocks. Shox is now here holding that heaven position and can move in with body to attempt the retake here. It's do or die time now for G2 as they must close out here or we reset again and go into double OT. And as they burst out onto the site, they'll wrap around very quickly. Adrian is low at 9 HP, but he impacts on the first kill and Joja shows up down at bottom to find the second one. So it's Gambit battling back again to take us to 18-18. Double OT will be the name of the game.
And I think that we haven't mentioned yet the fact that you get less points for a win if it's an overtime win. And you get one, so right, a regular win in regulation is +3, a loss in regulation is 0, right?
Yeah.
And a win in overtime is +2, a loss in overtime is +1.
Oh, so
right?
it's a pro league.
Isn't that right?
That's pro league. I don't know if that's
I could have sworn I read that on the IEM website.
You might be right, because I think ESL kind of likes that format that they've been using in pro league.
Especially
so
if you're doing round robin.
Here. Yeah, yeah.
Where it's like prone to round differential annoyances.
Tiebreakers and all that. So
interestingly, I think we've had what 3 overtimes that we've casted today
on this stream. Yeah, I think there's been like 1 or 2 on the other stream too.
It's funny, right? If every match went to overtime, then it'd basically render like the addition of that rule meaningless, such that we'd be at the same predicament again.
Yeah, thankfully that didn't happen. So, so at least we avoid that little conundrum there. But
it basically banks on the fact that going to overtime is low probability, right?
Yeah.
Right, like you're hoping that this new set of rules adds more separation in the outcome of points.
Just adds a little variance in there, a better way for people to decide, you know, who's better. It sucks if someone gets like 16-14, but you know.
I think we saw some of those earlier.
Oh, so apparently someone had to go potty.
Potty?
That's why we haven't started the second overtime yet.
Ah.
Yeah. So we are waiting for someone to return from the toilet. I don't know who, though.
It's part of the game. Play the ball as it lies.
We don't get potty breaks. We just have to stay here.
I always think that's a funny thing.
We're
Like
locked to this desk.
I think it's a funny psychological thing where, like what you just said, like we kind of had like our own little like bond over like, yeah, we don't go to the bathroom. Right? Like we are proud of the fact that we have like a sucky, you know, like I think that's such a stupid thing where it's like, you know, when people brag about not getting sleep. It's like, why would you ever brag about that? That's
actually
dumb.
it's actually a health issue. Like,
yeah, it's not good for you at all. There's nothing good about that except maybe if you were somehow productive.
That was like all college. It was like, oh, who got the least sleep last night? And it was still
where did
somewhat
that come
productive.
from? Where did
for me that was college. Everybody gloated about how little sleep they were able to operate.
What does that mean though?
What?
Like what does that explicitly mean? Like how does that convey any kind of like good, positive anything?
I guess it was like, oh, I got so much more done because I was awake for longer. For me, anyway, that's what it meant.
What it probably means is that, hey, I procrastinate really bad.
Yeah, I did.
Therefore, I had to catch up, and therefore didn't sleep.
It was a little rough trying to get a degree while at the same time trying to find a career in esports, which obviously was completely separate from the degree. So I constantly had those two forces fighting against each other.
I think you might be signing up for an AMA.
Am I?
Maybe. Maybe people would like to learn from your travels.
It's true. I've traveled a lot.
Blue, be more specific, please. What obstacles did you come across that made you split your time and energy between A, succeeding in college and your grades, or B, finding a career in esports?
It's a very specific question that you came up with in a very short amount of time.
Well, I mean, I've just piggybacked it off of what you said.
Oh, okay. Well, I had very little interest in the degree I was pursuing. So that's why. Which was software engineering.
Yeah, I mean, that's hard to have interest in when it's hard in general.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan, personally.
There's obviously a plethora of negatively connotated terms applied to the end result of having a job in coding, right?
What?
Right, like you're gonna go work in a sweat. Like they,
yeah.
You know, because I went to a school that was big on software engineering too, and it's like, yeah, my friend got a job at XYZ, and they said it's like a sweatshop there. You know, it's like work you, or like, you know, it says all this fear mongering, but then at the end of the day, what company doesn't have software engineers like a job listing?
That's
right,
true.
like you can't argue against that.
It's a very open career in terms of where you could work for, or who you could work for, I think. We are going live now, so back to Counter-Strike for a little bit. As now the winning number Comes 22. Take this map. 21 is the tie point and take it to triple OT. We'll start this off.
Triple op.
Yes, indeed. When's the 5-up buy come in? That's when things get really
I
exciting.
think that's when you have 200 ping and you're playing for Brazil.
Yeah, that's when you
and your team's dead. And you're gonna get relegated. And you just got second at the major.
Well, listen, they didn't get relegated yet. That's still to be decided.
I said you're gonna get. So I guess I went a little overboard.
Yeah, I mean, what if they? What if
There's
they
a high
survive?
probability. What if they pick you up?
I don't know why they do that, but
They
I don't
need,
speak
like,
Portuguese, so.
Just say Keota every time somebody gets a kill.
Just be the cheerleader.
Yeah. Keota. Oh.
Fitch is going to be able to move in, get the kill onto Shucks. Start things off well for Gambit on this round.
I think G2's triple op setup is kind of a weird decision here, right? Because they haven't done it once the entire game so far. Right, so it's kind of like this dynamic that they're not really used to yet themselves. And see how they're giving up so much ground today? That guy who got killed connector was basically on an island all by himself. Untradeable. Not good CS coming out right now.
Oh, I like that voice.
Yeah.
You're,
It's that fake caster voice.
oh,
from,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know.
Really trying to sell it to the people.
Well, I don't have the genetic gift of the $1 million voice like you do, so leave me alone.
Well, it does appear as though G2 have brought the round back onto their heels with a good series of trades, primarily coming out from A Long. But most recently picking up Fitch. And now the rest of G2 pretty much has to delay this here as Gambit again ran the timer down very, very low. Didn't really give themselves enough time to do anything at all. Kenny cleans up shop there on the upper site. Very well done from him. And that's G2 off to a good start at the beginning of the second overtime.
I think it's going to be hard mentally for Gambit to come back if G2 runs the table this half, which is a very real possibility given the lackluster approach that round from Gambit. Didn't really seem very inspired, if you would go so far. What is this? Oh, is that a flash for short A to help him repeak?
I think so. Well, the nade is... Yeah, it's a flash, actually.
I wonder if it's a potent flash.
God damn it.
That is a valid use. Come on,
Okay,
man.
that's fine. The problem is the word potent has just been like tainted in the
Kind of like the word
community.
toxic.
Yeah, that's another word you can't use like
Yeah.
very lightly either.
That's toxic. Anyway, we see NBK here sitting just a little bit ahead of Toxic near the pillar. I think I've seen one of the sickest highlights ever from Guardian from that position. Hopefully he's outside watching. Just no more than 20 yards to my back, outside of the building. Watching the 96-inch TV or whatever. Something insane.
It's a big TV. We used that, I think, in the studio today. But got NBK showing up first off here to kill the first player outside Monster. The rest got delayed. NBK is given like a 2-second warning, though, because of the shadow. Will finally go down, but he's still got body holding at construction, and Kenny chimes in for the last kill. G2 starting it off in a very similar way to the last OT went, but this time from CT side as they win the first 2 rounds outright.
Body is stepping up. Body's working overtime.
He heard you.
Isn't that like a song?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to sing it.
That's from Top Gun, I think.
It is.
Or it's by like the guy who makes the Top Gun song.
That's the one where they're like playing volleyball.
Yeah. No, that's the right scene.
Isn't it funny how I like acted like I didn't know it, and then I know exactly what scene it's in? It's kind of suspect.
Moses would appreciate that reference.
Dot suspect.
Moses is a big fan of Top Gun. We do have, again, Gambit spreading out here. Trying to look for any fish in the sea they might be able to snag early on in the round here. G2 are staying solid, though, staying grouped up.
I would just execute on B, man. They're double opping. That is absolutely the best time to do it.
Gambit don't see it reading into the... Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
How is he looking? Oh, because Body's here.
Yep.
I wonder if he was actually trained on there or if he whipped from the door.
That is the question.
I don't think I'm going to be able to go to sleep tonight until I answer that.
That's the demo question right there. Is
Yeah.
what that is, because unfortunately we don't have replay.
By the way, how are we still in the demo viewing system? I'm going to leave it at that.
What?
The demo viewer system.
What do you mean?
Did you just say, what do you mean? You basically just admitted to the fact of not knowing how ridiculously bad it is?
No, I mean, I know. I mean, I was looking for more context. I know
Oh.
how to watch a demo. Like, it's like what most people know how to do pretty easily. But as we see, Gambit finally finding some traction into this round. Hobbit.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's actually a miss, which was a little bit surprising. I think it was dead on. Apparently not. I guess he moved too soon. And now it's brought the round back into the control of G2. Hobbit left alone. Less than 10 seconds to plant. Doesn't even realize NBK's there. So hello and goodbye to Hobbit, as G2 have a perfect first half on CT side. Only 1 out of 3 of these rounds will be needed for them to close out in the second half.
Yeah, it's not very often you see Hobbit miss a shot like that. Sure, that wasn't a given. The shoulder peek was pretty quick. It wasn't the best shoulder peek in the world, but, you know, there was immediate negative, like a negative occurrence that happened because he missed that, right? The guy slides out, kills your buddy. Now it becomes a 1v2, so tough luck there for Hobbit. Maybe you should stick to the AK to stay more mobile. Triple op T side. Holy moly. One's holding Fountain. Kenny S is a connector, and Body's holding 1B.
Oh man, Shock tries to get aggressive against Mo though, but Mo holds the line. NBK continuing to spam through the doorway at steps, but also not really going to be able to find all of that much. Besides this, G2 taking their time with things. Obviously losing Shocks early on towards B doesn't help their case. Apex, I think, was spotted by Mo.
Is he gonna...
He's definitely trying to bait him into doing something. Although, if he hasn't spotted him by this point, then I'm a little bit curious as to why he's still jumping. I think for certain he would have seen him. Fitch takes off 1 kill. But we are going to see the trade from Kenny Mo with a very close-up shot. And it's a headshot, too. Take out NBK. Kenny looking for the trade on that, but again, too slow from G2. They're just giving Gambit so many easy opportunities for kills here. With how slowly they're trying to push up into these sites. Kenny's going to go on his own up towards A, trying to get himself at least 1 trade to distract and leave a hole open for Apex to at least sneak into the site and then attempt the clutch, but he just goes down outright, and it's again to Mo.
Doja's going to be spotting feet. Is he?
No,
he was actually in connector.
He's in Hulls, so.
Well, good thing they're going to get that bomb plant money.
They really need it. Apex will be able to put that down to the ground.
Bomb has been planted.
And now is clutch time.
Apex is the type of guy who can win this, and that's going to be a quick frag right there.
He's got to watch this rotate, though. Actually, Doja's taking a long... Doja's just kind of hanging out there. I think he's waiting to see if Apex tries to fall out of the sight at all, but that Molly should pretty much confirm that he's not going to do that. Apex gets your gun out. Oh, no, they meet each other. Who gets the gun out first? It's Apex to get the kill. And now we're at a 1v2. Pop flash into the air as the defuse is going on. Blinds a Dread, but does he realize he's on the defuse? No, he doesn't. So Hobbit sneaks in the ninja defuse and goes out to kill Apex.
How many
just
kills does he have?
barely giving Gambit the round.
47.
But Apex almost clutches it from a straight-up 1v4. And they just set him up for that, too. That's the best part. They have full confidence in his ability to do that. Kenny literally throws his life away so that Apex can go plant for free down at B and set himself up for that 1v4.
He has more than twice as many kills as a few of his teammates. Apex, reaching his apex.
Literally becoming the Apex. So Kenny's going to start this round off well. Mo goes from a massive amount of impact, 3 kills, to suddenly dying within the first few seconds of the round.
I don't like that peak.
Hands of Kenny.
That's such a bad peak, especially if the Opera can go there. Basically overtime, guaranteed an Opera potential, right? Because they could be on that sliver on the pallet. Oh well. It looks like that balloon has like eyes or something on the shadow. It's like wearing sunglasses.
Wait, what?
See that balloon, like the shadow of the balloon on the wall?
Look at
it looks
that,
like it has like eyes.
Oh yeah, check that out.
Alright, I'm officially delusional.
Apex, go back there. Doja, in the meantime, has gotten the next kill here.
Doja's going to be flirting with the op. I think everybody in the server has touched the op on this map during this match. That is a family show type of thing to do.
And we have G2 rounding around to try and go for a straightforward BX hit again.
This is literally like the classic like overpass I've run out of ideas thing to do. Like get map control A, walk out B. Right? Like I literally feel like that's like...
It might work though, because look at this. They've killed another player at A, so the illusion is kept alive at least that it could be an A hit. But, wow, they're going to make it very obvious they're changing it up to B, because look at all these nades running into Apex.
Why is he right there? What is he
Apex
doing?
just straight up peeking Doja with a nade out. Doesn't kill him, and then NBK peeks him from the other side. So definitely some mistakes being made just due to the length of the game at this point. Hobbit and Adrian trading it back, and Adrian with the snapshot flick kills Shocks. Kenny has to clutch now in a 1v2. And Gambit, let's see. They haven't been able to find him just yet, but they have a good idea where he's at. Kenny swings at the perfect time, dips out to the other side. One more shot, and what a way to hit it. Kenny, the slam shot to the left side, knocks out Adrian and secures the map for G2. 22-19 is going to be the final score, and that unfortunately puts Gambit into a very bad position. Again, I'm unsure because it's round robin if 0-3 immediately means elimination, but I think that means they're very close to it.
It's very bad. It's bad to be 0-3.
I think they only have 2 matches left now, considering it's round robin.
Because there's 6 teams in each group, it's not like you play yourself.
Matches.
Yeah.
So I think that would mean Gambit are pretty much for sure eliminated, but obviously we'll wait on that judgment until tomorrow as there's still some matches to be played there. But that will do it for today's matches, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all very much for tuning in. It's been a very, very long stream for the both of us, and we're going to be heading home after this. But we'll be back tomorrow with 8 more matches, so do stick around for that. And that's going to be starting right around the same time. It should be, I believe, 11 a.m. Pacific time is going to be the time of the first match here. So do be sure to come back tomorrow for that, as we are done. So thank you guys once again for tuning in, and we'll catch you tomorrow here on the B stream at IEM Oakland.